A boy sat beside an old warrior and asked, "People keep saying you have no enemies, but how can that be true? There are people who hate me, people who would hurt me." The old warrior looked across the sea before answering, "They may hate you, they may curse your name, they may even raise their hand against you, but that does not mean they must become your enemy. There is an important difference." He picked up a small stone and let it fall into the water. An enemy is not simply someone who stands against you. An enemy is someone you choose to carry in your heart. Hatred asks you to make another person's wrongdoing the center of your life. Once you do that, they begin deciding how you think, how you feel, and how you act. You believe you are fighting them.
In truth, they are leading you. He continued, "If someone insults you, you have two choices. You can carry those words with you for years, feeding them until they become bitterness, or you can set them down and continue your journey. One path makes you heavier with every step. The other leaves you free." The young man frowned. "So, if someone attacks my family, should I simply do nothing?" The old warrior shook his head. "No. Protecting those entrusted to your care is one of the highest duties a person can have. Sometimes strength must stand between innocence and violence, but protection is not the same as hatred. You may stop a violent man without wishing for his suffering. You may defend your home without delighting in another's pain. Force can sometimes be necessary. Hatred never is." He looked toward the horizon once more. "Many people believe strength means destroying those who oppose them. I have learned something different. Anyone can strike in anger. Anyone can seek revenge. The harder path is refusing to let cruelty make you cruel. If another man loses his humanity, do not surrender yours to follow him." The wind stirred as the old warrior stood. When people say, "You have no enemies," they do not mean the world will always be kind. They mean that you should not live as though hatred is your guide. See people for what they are. Some are wounded, some are afraid, some have been taught violence all their lives. That does not excuse the harm they cause. But understanding another person's brokenness can keep your own heart from becoming broken in the same way. He placed a hand on the young man's shoulder. The greatest victory is not defeating another man. It is refusing to become the kind of man who must always have an enemy. If your heart depends on someone to hate, then your heart is not free. Walk with courage. Defend the innocent. Stand for what is right. Forgive whenever you can. And never allow another person's darkness to become your own. That is what it means to live, as though you have no enemies.